Hello everybody, Happy New Year. I thought I would say hello after quite a long silence. Like many of you, I'm adjusting to the new restrictions again and finding it harder than I did in March last year, perhaps because last year we were enjoying such a beautiful spring and now it's still quite a cold, dark winter. But hopefully the vaccine and the restrictions themselves and time will make a difference and we'll have more freedom to be out and about soon. Hope you're doing okay wherever you are. I have found a programme on BBC iPlayer that I'm enjoying. It's called Around the World in 80 Gardens with Monty Don. And I'm just loving seeing beautiful gardens around the world. And it reminds me just how much I like travelling and seeing new places and how limited I feel just now. I'm quite reconciled to the fact that I won't be travelling very far very soon. And I remembered something I'd written a while ago that I thought I would read out to you. And it's not from anything I've published. It's from a book that I started and gave up on that I called Fair Trade Cocaine. And it's the story of a group of idealistic young people who try to set up a kind of ethical coca production line, thinking that the middle class people who consume cocaine in Europe might pay a premium for their product. But of course, what they would discover is that everything connected with the drug trade is violent and connected with criminality. I didn't get very far with it, but I remembered that I'd written a description of the trip from Medellin to the coast, which I did countless times when I lived in Colombia. And it was just such a lovely taste of an exotic, sunny, different world that I thought I would read it out to you. And it's written about a character called Carolina, who's German, and she's traveling to the coast for the first time on a bus. And I'm just going to read this experience to you. Carolina slept fitfully and would have sworn the following day that she had felt every jerk and twist of the bus as it snaked up and then down the final remnants of the Andes Mountains as they petered out of steam in the northeast of the South American continent. At around 6 a.m., Carolina peeked out of the curtains and discovered that she had entered a new world. Gone were the green slopes that surrounded Medellin. Here the land was rich and rolling and flat. Cattle and horses grazed. The reflection of the rising sun was drowning in pools and lakes. The bus raced through avenues of trees, their tops meeting in a great green canopy across the road. The houses they passed were painted in bright colours, yellow and blue and orange. Carolina saw hanging baskets of geraniums, blue globes of agapanthus that her mother had tried and failed to grow in their garden in Germany, red and orange canna lilies, and red and orange and yellow and pink hibiscus, and pinky purply bougainvillea. Some of the houses had a stripe of white around the bottom of the house. In some villages, the trunks of the trees were painted white too. Life was beginning to stir. Carolina caught glimpses of groups of little girls in checked pinafores and white shirts straggling across the road. Women squatted to wash dishes in basins on the ground. There were chickens and piglets rooting around, and donkeys tethered on ropes that forced them to stay on the verge. The bus flew past a man on horseback, trotting straight-backed and long-legged. He was wearing the woven straw hat traditional on the coast, and what looked like a dishcloth over his shoulder. In the time that Carolina looked out, the bus passed 3 Colombian army posts, each with 2 or 3 young soldiers standing in various poses of boredom and tiredness. One of them was texting. When Carolina could no longer process everything she was seeing, had that been a polo club she'd spotted as they flashed by? She dropped the curtain and shut her eyes again. But it was no good. She felt the images were sizzling on the inside of her eyelids. So that's just a little snapshot of life on the Colombian coast. And I hope that you enjoyed hearing about a different world, another world, as we face our dark winter. It's a perfect time to buy my book if you haven't yet done so, and the details are below the post. Hope you're doing well, and I'll be in touch soon.